Hey guys, welcome to part 8 of this series. Today I'm just going to do a few small tasks before we are going to proceed to deployment in the next part. So if I go to the to-do list now, you can see that I have added validation to the checkout form because that is lacking, which I forgot to add in the previous part. And I'm also going to fix a few other small things. But we can begin with adding validation to the checkout form. So let's open up checkout.html. Because now we need to do this here down in JavaScript before we send it to the backend. So let's create a new function here, function validate, validate, like that. And then we need to pass in a few things. We can pass in the first name, the last name, the address, the zip code, and the city. If you have any more fields in your form, you need to add them here as well. So first we can check if first name is filled out. If first name dot line, you can see if it's empty, like that. Then we know that there are an error in the form. So let's also create a new array here. Let errors, like that. And then we can see here errors dot push. The first name is missing, like that. And then if errors dot length, then we can say return true, true, else return false. I will come back to the other fields very soon. I just want to test that this is working. So then instead of getting them like this, we can do it like this, const first name equals, and then we get it down there. Now we replace this with first name and paste it up there. Then we can say if validate, so if, errors.length, if there are any errors, then we want to return true. And I want to check if this validates, so it should validate, so it should say this. That makes more sense. Then we can proceed to the checkout, and if not, we want to just display the errors like that. So then we have done that. So let's just say console.log, first name is missing. So I just want to test this. If I add a product to the cart, try to check out, I need to log in. Cart, checkout. Just want to open up the inspector so I can see the console here. Checkout. Okay, it sent me straight to there. That means there is something wrong. First name should be empty. Okay, I forgot to pass them in here. First name, and then I just insert 4 empty strings, like that. Okay, let me refresh and try again. Okay, then I need to add this again. Checkout, checkout. Now I got first name is missing, and we don't proceed to stripe yet any longer. So that means I can just remove that, and I can replace here set last name, address, zip code and city. Zip code, and city, like that. So then we have for each of them, so you need to do the same down here. Const last name, like that. Const address, that's this one. Const zip code, and city. And then we can post them in here as well. So last name, address, zip code, and city. So now we should have validation for each of the fields. We can test this, check out. Okay, it's not showing anything because I haven't done anything yet. So what we should do now is to generate some HTML and put it above the button here. So div id errors, and then down here we can say for let I equal 0. I just want to loop through each of the errors. Then I is less than errors.length I++, and then we can say const HTML equals, actually I want to set this above here, const HTML, set this to be empty, and then down here I can say HTML plus equals errors I. So then we get the content of this and push it into the HTML here. Maybe you also need to add a line break, and then down here we can say document.get element by ID errors dot inner HTML equals HTML. So I think this should work now. No, assignment to constant variable. Which one? Okay, I said const, and this needs to be let because I want to be able to change it, since yes, I'm changing it. So let me try again, and now I got the errors here. Nice. Maybe we should show them in a red little box or similar. So then we can say class px4 py4 bgred 200. Try again, yes. So now it's showing in there. Maybe we want rounded corners like up here. Radius -XL. That's actually something I want on this button as well. Radius XL, isn't that correct? Rounded XL, sorry. Rounded, save. Refresh, and now these are rounded, and I want space above and below, so my3 like that. But I do not want this to show when there are no errors, so to do that I think I can say hidden, yes, and then if there are errors we need to remove that error. So first I can say let errors element, just so I have this and can change it. And then, sorry, if there are no errors, then we can say errors element dot class list dot remove or add hidden. Like that. And if there are errors, then we want to remove hidden, and we also want to say errors element dot inner HTML equals HTML, and save. So let's try it. It's gone, and if I check out, it's appearing here again. And if I then try to write something in here, check out, the error is gone, and I'm being redirected to Stripe. So now the validation in the front end is working. Nice. So what happens here is now that we are pushing the errors into a list, just so I have them there, and then I create an empty HTML element or string, and then I loop through the errors. If there are any, they will be appended to this string, and then I get the element, which is this div up here. If there are errors, then we want to remove the hidden so it's visible, and then we set the inner HTML to that element to the HTML for the errors. If there are no errors, we just want to add hidden in case we have done a validation. It's there, and then we add it again. Yes, so now we have validation in the front end, but we should also have this in the back end. So in the checkout, where should I add this? Yes, I think I should have it up here. First name equals data first name, and then we want one for the last name, address, and the zip code, and the city. So now you can check if first name and last name and address and zip code and city. If all of these fields are present, then we can proceed in here and just do it like we did before. And if not, we want to redirect us back to the form. And this is only done if there are anyone who's not using JavaScript, so I'm not going to bother showing errors for these. I just want to redirect us back to the checkout page. So return redirect. Actually, I don't need to redirect them. They will be sent there automatically via this here. So that means that this is done. And since I now have these in a variable, I don't need to do it down here as well. So here I can change to first name and last name, address, zip code, and city. So hopefully everything is okay. Let me just try to do a checkout. Add to cart, checkout. Checkout. Okay, I was redirected to Stripe, which means it was probably working. Pay. And yes, everything was okay. I was sent back to the success page, which means that now everything there should be working. Nice. So that means that I can go to the to-do list and set the first task here to done. So what else should we try to fix on this project? Just want to go through a couple of these files here and see if there are any obvious things. Oops. Okay, here are probably a lot of things that could be improved, but yes, I don't see any very obvious right now. So what I can do is to add settings file for production. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to all of my patrons. If you too want to support me, you will find a link in the description below. So if I find the settings file, then I can copy all of that, settings.py, copy this, paste it in a new called settings.prod.py, because then when I upload this to the server, we have a separate file for this. For example, I do not want this to have debug equals true because I don't want to show errors to everyone. So here this needs to be set to false. And we also have something called allowed hosts. Here we need to pass in the URL to the website, which in my case will be www.petnet.com or just petnet.com. I'm not going to buy this, I'm just going to point my computer to this so it looks like I have this domain. So when that is done, I think the rest here can just be as it is. Website URL also needs to change to petnet.com because I want to be able to redirect us back from Stripe. And these two should also be updated in production. I'm not going to do that, but you need to do it yourself if you're going to publish your website. Yes, so that's done. And then I know that one of my subscriber wanted me to add the requirements field, so add requirements file. So it's a little bit easier to install everything we need on the server. So if I just stop this now, then I can say pip freeze, and then this will give me a list of all the packages that I have installed for this project. So to create this file, I can just say pip freeze and then pipe this into a file called requirements.txt and hit enter. So now I have this here. And then on the server, to install this, I can actually just say pip install -r requirements and pass in this file. I've obviously already installed this on this computer, since yes, that's done, and I was able to put them in the requirements, but yes. So now I can set this task as well to done. So that is done. What more can we do? Yes, also one more thing that's very typical that we need to do on all websites is to make it possible to add more meta tags on each of the subpages. So here I can add a new block called block meta and block, and then I can copy this, and then if I go to about, for example, then we can pass in here meta name. Yes, I do not remember everything. So meta tags SEO, to find out which ones I need. Actually, I can just go to Code with Stein, one of my own pages. And then I can see what I use here. We have the meta name description. This in a page has information, or PetNet is the best online store for pets, blah blah blah. And I also want the meta name author, PetNet Stein, or your name, or just the name of the website. And then we have the OG title, which is the title that will show when you log in. When you share this page on social media. So PetNet about, and the description, that can just be the same as you have here. And you have the type. Article is typically used for products and blog posts and similar, but you can also have it here. And then the URL for this page. And this is https or http://petnet.com/about. And that's everything I need there. So if I now copy this and open up product detail, then we can add it here as well. So instead of hard coding things here now, the title should be PetNet and then the product title, and the description can be found down here, like that, and the same with this one. And then the URL for this page, I think I can pass it in like this, URL product detail. What do I have in that URL? Sorry. If I open up products, this list, then copy one of these and paste it in here. Probably don't need that slash, and probably not that either. So then this should be dynamic. So if I save now and run the server, hit refresh, go into dinner, go into the view page source, or see the childe, which is the Norwegian name. Then we have the description, the author, the title, the description again, the type, and then the URL to this page. Here we could also add images since the product has image. And if, and then we just say meta property og dash now colon image content, and then we need to pass in the whole URL for this page. So first this one, and then product.image.url. I don't think I need anything more there, so refresh, and then I have the whole address here. Nice. So now we have meta description also for this project, like that. And yes, one more thing I can do is to add a robots file to the project, because I don't want the robots like Google to be able to go into /admin, but I want them to access all of the other pages. So this file is just to tell that you should stay away from my admin page. So inside the core templates core, I create a new file called robots.txt, and then I'm not sure what this should contain, so let me check out here. Robots.txt, user agent everyone disallow /admin, and that's everything I need there. So then I just need to add this to the urls.py. So I do not remember the syntax for this, so I can find that by going to Google and say something like Django robots file, how to add a robots.txt to your Django site. Then I need to import this from Django.views.generic.base import template view, because we view the text as a template file. And then we add a new path. I can add it there, robots.txt, and I do not want a slash there. And then template view.sview, and then I just pass in the template name I'm going to use, which is core/robots.txt. And then we need to set the content type to text/plain. I think it is. I can't. Yes, text/plain. And remember to end this with a comma. And now I get an error because I need double parentheses like that. So now I should be able to go to my address here, /robots.txt. Yes, nice. So now that's done as well. So then I can go to the to-do list and set this task to done. So now everything should be ready for the next part. We are going to create a server on DigitalOcean and then deploy the project. So see you in the next video.